In this video, you will be learning about box and whisker plots. A box and whisker plot is defined as a data display that organizes data values into 4 groups. All right. So it's really all about the median. Throughout this entire exercise, you're going to be focusing on finding the median of different sets of data. So I'll explain further. The first thing we want to do is if we are given a group of data, we want to make sure that we are listing it from least to greatest first. So in this set, I've already done that for you. I've got 2, 3, 5, 6, 8, 9, 12, 12, and 13. Okay, the first step of constructing a box and whisker plot is actually constructing the number line. So in this case, I have created the number line right here. Okay. And this is what I'm going to be constructing my box and whisker plot on. Okay. All right. The next step is to find the median of the entire set. So in this case, the median is 8. Now, reminder, the median is the middle number of a set of data. So if we were to go through and cross out all these numbers one by one, we would be left with 8. Okay? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line. Okay? Straight up and down line, easy enough. Okay? Then I'm going to find the median of the lower half. Okay? The median of the lower half, I'm going to take the 2 through 6, which is my lower half, and I'm going to find the median. In this case, because the middle numbers were actually 3 and 5, I needed to average them. So I would do 5 plus 3 is 8 divided by 2, and that would get me 4. That lower half median is called the lower quartile. All right, and from there, I'm going to draw yet another line. You can see the box starting to form. All right, next up, you got to find the median in the upper half, in this case 9 through 13. Again, my middle numbers are both 12, so my upper quartile, or the median of the upper half, is going to be 12. And you guessed it, we got to draw another line. Okay? From here, you will actually construct the box of the box and whisker plot. Okay? The final part of finding the box and whisker are actually the whiskers. The whiskers are the smallest and the largest numbers in your data set. These are also called lower extremes and upper extremes. You'll probably see those vocabulary words in your work that you'll be doing. So a lower extreme is the smallest number. Upper extreme is the largest number in a data set. So I'm going to take my lowest number, 2, and I'm going to draw a dot over that. Take my highest number, and which is 13. I'm going to draw a dot there, and then I'm going to connect the box to my dots with the whiskers or lines. Okay, so you've got your box and your whiskers. So far we have talked about a few different vocab words. We've talked about the median, the lower quartile, the upper quartile, the least value or the lower extreme, and the greatest value or the upper extreme. The last vocabulary word that you are going to be learning in this section is called the interquartile range. The interquartile range is basically exactly how it sounds. You are going to take the range, which is usually the difference between two numbers, and you are going to find the difference of the upper quartile and the lower quartile. So if you remember correctly, our lower quartile, is 4, and our upper quartile is 12. And I am just going to take those, subtract them, so 12 minus 4, and my interquartile range is 8. All right, so if you want to just go over this real quick, so we've got our median, we've got our upper quartile, our lower quartile, our least value, and our greatest value. And then we've got the interquartile range, which would be this and this subtracted. All right, so if you want to try and create your own box and whisker plot for practice, here are 2 examples that you can do. I'm not going to do them in this video, but you are more than welcome to do them on your own. I am going to go over a couple things that you might have to, a couple questions that you might see when you're doing your work with box and whisker plots. So in this case, what is the median of the data represented in the graph? So if we look at our box and whisker plot, we need to find the median. So in this case, that would be this middle line, which goes down to about here, which would be 65. The upper quartile, if you remember, it's this line right here. It's the upper half, which comes down to about here. That would be about 75. Okay. The minimum value, or our lower extreme, according to this graph, is about right here. So I would say that that's closer to 10 than it is to 20. So in this case, I would go with 13. All right. Most of the time when you see box and whisker plots, they might be more exact depending on the amount of data you're given. So it usually won't go by tens. It'll go closer to like fives or sometimes twos. All right. Please let me know if you have any questions. Do those examples if you want some more practice. Otherwise, that's all I have on box and whisker plots.